It's Cougar Sports Saturday.
That's caught! Touchdown! Stayed inside the boundary and gets in for 6.
Cougar Sports Saturday, a presentation of KSL Sports.
Richie right to the rim, driving score! He would not be denied!
BYU Sports Talk by Cougar fans for Cougar fans. Sponsored by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air. Your hosts are Mitch Harper and Kyle Ireland. On Utah's legacy home of the Cougars, KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Welcome back into Cougar Sports Saturday. Mitch Harper and Nate Slack. Nate filling in for Kyle today as Kyle's out in Hawaii enjoying a bye-week vacation before everything ramps up next week. BYU football against Texas Tech. And BYU basketball tips off the season starting on Monday night in one of the marquee games in college basketball to open the season, BYU versus Villanova. That game tips off at 7:30 p.m. right here on KSL News Radio. And on the call of that game will be Greg Wrubell and his analyst, his colleague, Mark Durrant, who joins us now here on Cougar Sports Saturday. Mark, these are good times for BYU sports, are they not?
Oh man, this is a good time to be a Cougar. I can't think of a better time. This is with the football team doing what they're doing, and then basketball, as the expectations have never been higher. And listening to Greg on the intro there, calling some plays from last season, I'm pretty excited. I get to hang out with that guy on the court side, so that's pretty fun. And it's about to get going. And I hope it's going through into April. We'll see how it goes this year.
And that's what's so exciting is that, BYU enters a season, BYU basketball, in the top 10, number 8 in the preseason AP top 25. I know that, for Kevin Young, he's looking at that and saying, this is what we expected. But I think for people that have watched this thing build over the years, like yourself, and I mean, it's got to be a little bit surreal. I know just from my vantage point, just seeing it, it is kind of like this is actually happening. BYU's going to play a game on Monday night against Villanova, a great brand, and BYU's the favorite and the higher-ranked team.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, this doesn't happen in a vacuum. So as a former player and speaking for former players and coaches for the last, 80 years, I mean, we did our best, worked hard to put BYU in a good position and recognizable in a national brand, and then to get into the Big 12 and to get a coach like Coach Young, who has such a great experience and NBA connections and kind of understands the landscape and is a terrific coach. And then the whole NIL deal, say what you like about it or don't like about it, but it has enabled BYU to get on more even footing with some of the more name brand type schools. And you're seeing kids that want to go there, the best kids in the country, like AJ, that recognize that this is a place where they can excel, they can get better, they can focus on their basketball, they can compete at the highest level on TV and in big games like Monday night, and go to the NCAA tournament, have success, and then make that next step to the NBA. So I hope this, with Diego and AJ and Richie, I hope BYU can kind of establish themselves as a place where really good players want to come and can have success and go to the NBA. And like I said, expectations never been higher, and rightly so, with a guy like AJ, with one of the best guards in the country, and Richie as the senior leadership. You got Kaba, you got Rob Wright, which is an amazing transfer from Baylor. Really nice supporting cast. I mean, this team, I think, can compete with anybody in the country. So, yeah, there's a lot to be excited about.
I'm going to ask you a difficult question because there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. But what makes you the most excited for this basketball season? Is it a single player? Is it the collective talent? What makes you most excited for this season?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously, AJ is an exciting, unique prospect. I mean, certainly we've had great players. My brother was a great scorer, Danny Ainge and Krasmer Chosic, and you just go down the line. Jimmer Fredette was a special talent. But no, we've never seen anybody like AJ. And so immediately that kind of pops in your head. How's he going to do? How's he going to perform? What kind of difference can he make for BYU? Can he make the difference to get us to the promised land, NCAA tournament, and those kind of things? So it's hard to think of this season outside of the AJ context. But what I'm excited about is that it's not just AJ. I mean, he's not going to be relied on to win every game for you and score 35 points for you to be successful. He's got such a great cast around him. I think playing with Richie is going to make AJ's life so much easier than it otherwise would have been, because teams are going to have to really concentrate on Richie. Same goes with Rob Wright, who's lightning quick. I mean, when you have that many weapons, those three specifically, and then that supporting cast, it's very difficult to game plan against BYU. It's very difficult to take something away because they have so many weapons. So obviously AJ is a superstar and everybody's looking at him and everybody wants to see how he'll do. But I think the real success of this team will come from the combination of Richie and AJ and Rob and the rest of that cast. It could be really something special.
Talking with Mark Durrant, BYU Sports Network analyst. You can listen to him and Greg Wrubell starting Monday night, 7:30 p.m. tip-off right here on KSL. Is this year 30 for you and Greg, Mark?
I think it's 29.
29?
I mean, Greg keeps track of that stuff. But, you know, it's like marriage. When you get up in that many, it's just like you kind of lose track a little bit. But, yeah, I think it's 29. And I certainly wouldn't still be doing this if it weren't for the great Greg Wrubell. He's my good friend, and you guys know Greg, and he's the best in the business. And so it's, I mean, what a dream life I lead to sit on the front row watching guys like AJ and Richie and just talk about basketball with my good buddy. And it just so happens that, you know, there's a lot of people listening to me talk about it on the radio. So it's really fun. And, you know, it doesn't get past me how lucky I am to do it. And BYU fans are just tremendous to me and treat me so well. And I don't know how long I'll keep doing it. You can tell Greg tells me not to, but which could be sooner than later. But I'm just enjoying it.
What's the big question, though, going into this season that you have for this team? Because I think, like all of us, I think we're all fascinated to see by, you know, the positives. But at some point, this team's going to face adversity, and maybe that could come on Monday night. Like, what's maybe the question that you maybe have about this group that you want to start to get some answers on starting on Monday?
Yeah, so in general, I'm concerned about defense. They struggled last year, won a lot of games but gave up a lot of points, struggled against Alabama, shutting down the three. But that wasn't just that game. It was a consistent theme. They didn't look particularly good at it against Nebraska. They did better against North Carolina in those exhibition games. I think the team has what it takes to be an elite defensive team. That starting five of AJ, talk a lot about AJ's offense. He is a tremendous defender. If he focuses on that a little bit and his skills, he's just all over the floor. You got a guy like Kennard Davis who's come in, and he's a tremendous defender. You got Kaba protecting the rim. I mean, that initial five is a great defensive team, but you really need to focus on it, get better at it, have a better performance, I think, from that second unit defensively. And if they can get better at defense with that offense, I mean, look out. I mean, it's going to be pretty amazing. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they could lose Monday night, and you know, there's going to be hiccups. They may go undefeated in the preseason. They may lose 3 or 4. I don't know. It's not going to be all roses and daisies for them. AJ will have some off games. He's still young. So there'll be some learning curve. But what I want for this team is not so much for them to be really good in November and December. I want them to be good in March and April. And I think, you know, as they grow together, get some good chemistry, figure things out, tighten up that defense, that they can put themselves in a spot late in the season where they're at their best and can have their best chance to go deep in the tournament.
What are your thoughts on BYU's bigs? So obviously you lose Foose from last season, who's a mainstay and a big name for BYU basketball over the course of 4 years. You return Keba Keita. He started the season pretty well, but then by the end of the season, offensively, he was playing a lot better than the start. What do you make of the BYU big situation beyond Keba Keita?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Foose was an all-timer. He provided some real offense for you on the block and had some big games. But you're right, Keba really improved last year, and so far, what I've seen this year, he looks really good, and obviously super athletic. But he's a difference maker. I mean, I sense I can see almost a dramatic difference when he's not on the floor. And that's good because he's that good, but it's also bad because he's not always going to be on the floor. So you need guys to step up. Boskovic, I think they want to use him a little bit. He's big enough and also can stretch the floor, but not as good a defender. Staten, he's still early to kind of figure him out, but I think that's maybe one of the biggest question marks that the team has is beyond Keba at the 5 spot. What can you do? And maybe you even play a guy like AJ down low. I don't know. He's certainly long enough to play that, but that'll be something they'll need to figure out. And guys will have an opportunity to step up. I really like Mboop. He's really impressed me. So, he's not as big, but big, strong kid, and I really like him. And so maybe he's the answer, but it's still a little bit of a question.
Last thing for you, Mark, and we'll let you go. Appreciate the time here on this Saturday. How big was it last year for Kevin Young in this program I know KY is big on proof of concepts, but to have that proof of concept that BYU can win in the postseason, get to a Sweet 16, to almost help with the momentum, because when you bring up playing your best basketball in March and April, just how big of a momentum driver is that last year to carry over into this team with what looks to be a more talented roster this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge deal. I mean, success builds success, and it breeds upon itself. And, when you're trying to build a program, I mean, that was Kevin Young's first year. He hadn't coached college basketball. There were some questions, and, I think that team got better. I mean, the end of the year was amazing for BYU, notwithstanding that Alabama loss, but the games that they won and on the road and in the tournament, I think that's a huge stepping stone going forward, and you get a lot of those guys back that have had that experience with some of this new young talent, and there's no reason to think that this team won't be better and that they can't get further, and Coach Young will, he's learning too. I mean, as good a coach as he is, it's a learning process for him. He's getting better, and so all those things together, it certainly makes me optimistic. Let's say I've never been. I always wear the blue colored goggles, man, as you know. But I've never been more optimistic about a year than this year. And so, like I said, there'll be some hiccups, but I'm really excited about this year.
Well, enjoy all the fun travels on this non-conference schedule in Big 12 play. You got Vegas, Madison Square Garden, Boston Garden. I mean, This is amazing stuff. So enjoy it, all of it, and I know Cougar Nation will be listening here on KSL and the BYU Sports Network.
Hey, I appreciate it, Nate. Mitch, you guys do great work, and I appreciate you and all the Cougar fans. And let's go football, let's go basketball, let's make this a year to remember.
That's Mark Durrant here on KSL News Radio. You can listen to him on Monday night for BYU and Villanova. Appreciate it, Mark.
You bet. Take it easy, guys.
All right. Mark Durrant here on KSL News Radio. Taking a break, final timeout. We'll get a check-in on Texas Tech and Kansas State. It's been a wild game in Manhattan. We'll check in on that one here on Cougar Sports Saturday.